And I'm gonna tell you something. It was so bad. It was so bad that is what really made me stick around. I was like, what are they doing? This has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. People talking about how much they love this film. And I just had to stick around and say, what y'all seeing in this? What is going on with this movie? Because otherwise I would have been like, hey, here's your money back, man. I can't do this. It ain't worth getting the headache that I got watching this film. But even after all that, by the end of this movie, man, seriously, I just want to give this movie a hug. That's right, Double Toasted Live is going to be in Los Angeles Saturday, April 27th at the El Porto Theater. So we start to do a little something different. Not that we're begging people to do this, but some people have movies that they want to have reviewed, and they've been asking us to review these films, and they paid us to review these films because, as you know, anyone who's tried to do a movie review show or channel or anything, it's work. Mm-hmm. It's hard work to prepare. You got to watch the movies. You got to take notes. You got to edit. It is a process. So every now and then we'll take payment to do one of these reviews, and we have one right here at this moment. I keep saying he didn't want us to say his name, but I'm going to say his name anyway because he's a great guy. And I think he picked a very interesting movie for us to review right here that he paid for. And by the way, if anybody wants to actually do this, again, we're not begging people to do it, but if you have something that you'd like for us to review, and it's something that is a process, but you want to pay for it, let us know. You know where to reach us. I'll put it back up. I'm scared to play it because it crashed the computer last time. But kcoolmans@gmail.com. Let us know what you got, and we'll consider it. We'll probably even take a list and try to prioritize some of these films and do them just for you. Dedicate the show to you. So, dedicated to Dat Chicken Wing, AKA Isaac. This is the movie that he chose for us. A movie from 2017 described as a Japanese zombie horror flick, One Cut of the Dead. So the premise here is that you have a film crew. They go on location to shoot kind of a low budget zombie flick. And the whole thing is that they want to do this, thing in one take, and the director is very, very out to make something that will, prove himself, redeem himself. So when they're filming a zombie film, but when an actual zombie outbreak happens, he just keeps filming. He keeps going, say, hey, who gives a zombie outbreak? This is great. What a coincidence. Who would have known? Zombie outbreak while we're filming it. This was meant to be. It's fate.
A true auteur.
A true auteur. Man dedicated to his craft. Only thing is the crew is just not as dedicated. You mean you don't want to be eaten for art? What's wrong with you? So let me go ahead. And now, I was talking about earlier that this is going to be an unusual review. Not only that this is a paid review that we're dedicating to Dat Chicken Wing. I'm dedicating this show to him for this. But also, there's a lot in this movie that cannot be revealed. And I think the best way to go about this is to do this review in two parts. A very short section for the people who have not seen this movie right here, which is why I kind of brought up some of the other stories tonight, because I didn't want to chase people off so quick. I wanted people to actually have a show, because some of those people who have not seen this, you might want to wait. Now, if you have seen this, or if you just simply don't care and you don't mind being spoiled, then go ahead and stick around, where after that short section, we're going to have more of a deeper spoilery discussion. So that's why I say for anyone who has not seen this, it's the least said, the better. But I'm going to go ahead and start the review right now. The non-spoilery section right here. And I'll just start out by saying this, and I want to get the opinion of these people over here too, Martin and Julian. But I'll say this. I cannot recall a movie that I've seen where I hated it so much and then ended up liking it so much by the end of it. Maybe hate is a strong word for this movie right here, but I would tell you this movie was killing me in the beginning. It was grating my goddamn nerves. This movie, I don't get headaches until I saw this.
Yeah.
I was getting a migraine for how bad this movie was for me, man. For one, like I said, this is a zombie flick, all right? These are the silliest looking zombies I've ever seen. They just terrible.
But a girl, I was like, can somebody just eat her already?
Yeah.
Because I can't stand her.
Oh, man.
Falling down.
When I was talking about I was getting a migraine, she was the one that was mainly causing it because screaming. Mm-hmm. Every other scene, I mean, screaming her ass off and would not stop. And what made it worse, the camera just stayed on her.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I almost can't blame her because she was like, well, what the I was supposed to do when you got me here? She would actually be like, ah! Girl, if you don't shut up all that goddamn noise.
Like, girl, do something. please don't just stand there crying.
These damn zombies running around, some of them doing karate poses for no reason. Going out there doing that zombie food.
I thought it was more of the rah-rah Rasputin.
Yeah.
Doing TikTok dances.
Yeah. I was like, what the hell is going on? If they ain't bad enough. I know this is supposed to be a film where they're trying to get a documentary feel or a found footage feel to it, but there's a point the camera work guys, the cameraman just started carrying the camera like luggage.
Yeah.
It was filming grass and it was filming the sky half the time. Look at this. When you focus on something besides these weeds in the air. And I'm gonna tell you something. It was so bad. It was so bad that is what really made me stick around. I was like, what are they doing? This has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. People talking about how much they love this film, and I just had to stick around and say, what the y'all seeing in this? What is going on with this movie? Because otherwise, I would have been like, hey, here's your money back, man. I can't do this. It ain't worth getting the headache that I got watching this film. But even after all that, by the end of this movie, man, I just wanted to give this movie a hug. I had such a good time with this. And I can't get into why. That is the frustrating thing with this. I cannot actually get into it. All I can do is give you my ratings and then pass it on to where we can actually have a discussion by wrapping this part up. If you haven't seen the film, I recommend that you walk away right now and maybe come back and watch this review or this video after the discussion is had and after you've seen the movie. I would give this a high matinee. And that's all I can say before we go into the deeper discussion. And just go ahead and give your ratings and then we're going to talk about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wish I had that turnaround that you did. And while I thought it was better later, it wasn't enough to overcome where I was before. And for me, it is a low rental.
Low rental, all right.
Yep, same for me. Bordering on some bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's well, I'm different than the guys here because I actually really enjoyed this movie. Now, if you've seen the movie, then you know the twist that we're talking about here. You know that with this film here, now that we can go into the spoiler discussion, last chance.
Last chance.
Go ahead and get out.
No return.
Now sit down.
The doors are closing.
Yep. Yeah, you ain't gonna be able to leave after a while. So it's interesting to hear what these guys have to say about the movie. I think that if you've seen the movie, you know the twist. And maybe that's what I like about it, because the twist got me good. This movie trolled the shit out of me. With the twist that we got here, and I guess I should tell you what it's about, or recap what it's about. Like I said, it's a film crew that is filming a zombie flick while a zombie outbreak is actually happening. But it turns out that this is not a zombie movie at all. And I think that's what I like about it. It's not really a zombie film, period. So once you get past the first 30 minutes of this movie, and y'all know the twist, it goes into the actual making of what we just saw. They go back a month earlier, and turns out a director has been hired by a TV station to film a live airing of a found footage zombie movie that's all done with the gimmick of one shot. And they got the director because the director is average. They can't afford to get anybody who's actually good. They don't even want good. They just want a goofy B movie type zombie flick. And that's kind of what they got going on. Of course, if you've seen the movie, then you know there's a lot of things that went wrong because they're doing this live. But what they do is that they use everything that's going wrong to their advantage, and they just improvise a lot of the way. Hence, a lot of the weird stuff that we saw going on, like the weird camera angles, are why they lingered on stuff so long, why the acting was so bad. They got me with that. And so when you start looking at that part where they're making the movie, it's not a zombie film. This is more of a comedy about independent filmmaking. And unlike satires or movies that are about filmmaking, what I like with this is that, because usually in those movies, the message is, you know what? At the end of the day, it's not about money. It's about art. This is, no, it ain't about art. We're just having fun. Just forget art. Just have a good time. I actually thought that's what was fun about this. And also, it's not a twitch where it's kind of like a aha, got you, bitch, or a montage or something.
There's nothing wrong with I got you, bitch.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. No, this is not your regular montage recap or a real quick there's a twist right there, instant. This is the whole twist is slowly revealed once they give you the real movie that's happening right here, or the making of the fake movie that's in here. I like that it gradually did that. But, by the end of it, the crew was having so much fun making this and seeing it all come together that I felt this sense of accomplishment. It's for me, and it depends on, what you're looking for. For these guys, it was different. But for me, it ended up being this sweet, just goofball movie where it was about the joy of the creative process and working with what you have. And maybe it's because it appeals to me. Maybe it appeals to me because I've done stuff for so long and lived this, what they're doing. Ever since Access Television, I've just been doing stuff live and relate to things going wrong and having to just go with it and try to make it work. So maybe that's something that appealed to me with this. But I really, really, really did enjoy this, man. I had a lot of fun with it. I just related to it.
Okay, fair enough. I've been a part of productions like that, and so I get it. But the whole zombie movie part, that goes on for over 30 minutes. It really wore out its welcome with me. But when it switched to hey, this is just the movie we're making. This is what's really going on. I welcome that. I was like, oh, okay. But I found that part to be not bad, but just not all that terribly interesting. It's kind of farcical. It's almost like a lesser version of The Office, the way it plays out. And it was kind of like, man, what you're doing now is better, but it's not overcoming just the sheer pain I was put through. And two things Julian said was, one, is it felt like a festival movie. It reminded me of not even movies I've seen at Fantastic Fest recently, because they've actually stepped up their game. But back in the day, the kind of thing that would play midnight, and the people who are really into zombie movies or into foreign films who fetishize them would love it. But it's not really all that good. And here, with these characters, I was like, they're either flat or annoying. I just didn't warm up to anybody. And yeah, this movie, at least for me, was a struggle to get through.
Yeah, there was a lot of points where I definitely got bored, but yeah, I echo what you said about it turning into The Office, and I'm a big fan of The Office, but it felt like a cultural disconnect. Like a lot of jokes just felt like they were going over my head. But one thing I guess that's different for me is I actually really enjoyed the first half hour, and then when it shifted to this other thing, I was like, okay, I kind of like this idea, but the way that it plays out and the comedy not working for me and the twist revealing of why the movie is the way that it is, I was like, so what? I don't give a shit. It did not hit for me. It felt like something was really missing. And there was a lot of stuff, even in the beginning, the parts that I liked, some of it just didn't work for me. Like one thing that stood out for me was that the cameraman is he's a floating camera. Like he's not even a character. And that kind of bothered me.
It kind of depends on what's getting to you, what's not. Like you said, that first 30 minutes got to you. So the first 30 minutes got to me, but it took on a whole new life once it got to the second part of the film. And I was talking to one of the editors today because he said, "Did you see it?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "So what did you like about it?" And we kind of agreed that, you know, we both kind of saw the same appeal in the same thing, where, you know, seeing the part where everything is you know, all the bad acting I mentioned, all the weird camera angles, the weird shots, the bad direction, you know, all that stuff. Yeah, it was annoying at first, but then it was so much fun going for me having it replayed and seeing what was actually responsible for that. That's what, you know, that's what was really getting for me, or was really getting to me and making it fun for me. You know, the whole explanation for all that. You know, like I first of all, I laughed out loud so many times because when they actually show what was happening, I just had to laugh at myself for allowing myself to be trolled. I was like, "You dumbass, boy, they got you good, man. How you let them get you like this?" I just had to laugh at myself for that. But then I laughed out loud at so many times when they explained what was behind all the goofiness. Like the guy that was doing the karate poses while he was a zombie. I was like, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen for a zombie flick. It's like, you doing? And then when they actually showed what happened, I was like, all right, you know what? That was funny to me. The guy's a drunk, by the way. That's what it turns out. He's an alcoholic and he's been drinking, and they have to stand him up half the time. Other times he's just doing weird stuff because he's not sober yet. You know, when I saw that stuff and I was able to connect it to the beginning, that, you know, it's like when you go and watch, and again, it obviously doesn't work for everybody, but for me, it was like the reason why I went to go watch something like The Sixth Sense again, or, you know, a movie where they, you know, you put things together that you didn't know before, except for here it was all self-contained in one film. Now, I think where this could actually get on people's nerves, besides some of the criticism that y'all had, is that even when they get to the second part, you know, it's a one-note joke. You know, it's one they just keep building on it. That's all. And I can see that getting old for some people out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me though, that's what made me laugh, because they're not trying to get deep with anything here. It's a crew just having fun, just making trying to make a movie the best way they can by being put on the spot with it going live. And what I mean by that is that they don't, you know, it's not heavy on character, and that's kind of the joke to me, because to give an example, like the drunk guy, he's clearly an alcoholic, but there's never a moment in the movie where they say, you know, maybe you have a problem or you should stop drinking. It's like, no, they never go into people's personal problems. Like, people come in with these issues, but they never get into it, because this is a movie about people living in the moment, just trying to make something, make this show, make a movie, make this production their priority. That's all it was. And it, you know, by the end, it just really charmed me, man. You know, like I said, it's I can see it's not being for everybody out there, but I really had a lot of fun with it. Like I said, when I said I wanted to hug this movie at the end, it was like when you see somebody that's just so silly, you're just like, come here, man, silly ass. What the hell is wrong with you? I know.
I feel like when I run into somebody who's down on their luck.
Yeah. Well, this one was it was okay to me. But hey, like I said, you know, in this room, I'm clearly the minority. So you know, what do I know?
I'm glad you got something out of it, that you liked it.
Yeah. Well,
I don't, you know, why would I begrudge you that? That's good.
Oh no, I'm not. That's not that kind of conversation. I'm like, what's wrong with you? When you two idiots, man. What do y'all know about cinema? What do y'all know about fun? What do y'all know about film?
I'm too dumb. They went over my head.
What about that dumbass monkey bone you love so much?
All
And
right.
then this right now.
No, I know. You're talking about real cinema, okay? Henry Selick put his heart and soul into that.
I'm sorry.
you had your chance to say something to Henry Selick, and you didn't.
But there you go, folks. You got different opinions right here. You like these guys, and hey, you know, enter with caution. If you like me, then give it a chance. But it's on Shudder. It's on a few other places. Hey, if you want to watch it for free, I don't know if I should be putting this out here, but it is on YouTube with subtitles.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So I saw it today when I was looking up some stuff. So don't have anything to lose with that, except your time if you didn't like it. But hey, I did. So if you're anything like me, give it a chance. You might like it. I want to thank Dat Chicken Wing.
Yes, thank you, Isaac,
for coming in and allowing us to talk about this. You know, maybe these guys aren't thanking you so much.
No, that's the thing is like I may not have liked it, but I respect the movie and I'm glad I got to see it because it's something that if someone described to me, I'd be like, oh, I gotta watch that. I'll love that, and it just did not hit for me.
Yeah, listen, that's movies, man. Not everything works for everybody.
Yeah.
You know,
It's true.
yeah, man. You know, if you guys all thought like me, y'all would be right. You know? But diversity, man. You know,
Happy to be wrong.
we need some wrong people in here, man.
Part of the diversity.
Wrong and right.
Yeah, wrong and right. Nah. You know, different tastes for different people.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
You
for
gotta-
sure,
you gotta
for sure.
respect. That's what movies are made for.
I can see the appeal for
Yeah.
sure.
And like I said, I can see how this I can actually see how this would get on somebody's nerves like yours. Like, you know, when is this going to end?
But it is one where I've seen other Japanese and Korean movies that have done things like this that were, you know, I mean, they had more production going on, but they were more enjoyable. So watching this, it was like, I'm watching a much, much lesser version of things I already like.
Yeah. Okay.
And some of the reveals, I was like, what the is that? Like when they're filming someone's leg, I was like, that's what that, okay. Sick.
That was funny to me. That scene right there. Yeah, there's a scene. Yeah, there's a scene in the movie where she's hiding and legs come up, and you know and she's trying to be quiet so she won't be found. It turns out that they had to paint somebody's legs so they could tell her like that your lines have been changed. You know, so I can see how that wouldn't work for somebody. It could be stupid, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just a goofball, which I am. So you know, just appeal to the stupid ass in me. You know,
Come on.
I like silly stuff though. And it didn't work for me. I was disappointed.
okay, I got it. You didn't like it, all right? No.
Just disappointed.
Now I'm taking this personal.